They they would join a call with their video off, and everybody thought it was a software, and they were making notes and sending it out to people. And they did hundreds of calls where no one ever knew that it was people taking the making the notes and
Right?
sending them out. They're like, we didn't have the money to build out the software, but we had the idea, so we had to prove it somehow that people would want this. I
Right.
was like,
Now I
I
use it
guess.
so much with coaching that I have to have it, you know.
Yeah. Good morning, Barbara. Good to see you. Donna, good to see the light at the top of your ceiling. Tom, good to see you. Let's see. Daniel, let's get that video on Brenda. Let's get the video on Justin, Adrian, Carlin, Donald. I know more just popped in. Let's get those videos on. Let me see you. Justin, there he is. Daniel, what's up? Good to see you. Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad you guys are here. By the way, who loves, come on, who loves this? Did you guys read this? The banner picture? That's pretty good, right? There's not enough smiles. Come on. You just fake it for me. It's fine. Just fake the laughs. My wife did it. So
I think it's adorable.
there we go. And then now I'm going to say everybody loved it.
You do need to give her that kind of feedback. Everyone raved about it.
She does not like helping me with the real estate stuff at all. She's like, I do it because I love you and I know you need the help. And I'm like,
Oh,
you're awesome. Oh, there we go. Adrian says, love it. All right, let's get that question. So while we're waiting for everybody to come in, because we know I always give them till 5 after. Question for you all. Type in the chat. How confident are you that your current business plan will get you where you want to go next year? And if you don't have a business plan, then obviously the answer would be not that confident.
right?
So drop in the chat for me. Current business plan. How confident are you? Okay, good, Laura. That's pretty important. Could you imagine you're like,
I'm not so sure it's gonna work, but I'm here. Yeah.
wait, I thought you guys were going to teach me how to do my.
Yeah. 50-50.
Adrian says 84%.
Oh, I love that specificity.
Well, I think we're going to cover that last 16% then. Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure nothing's missing. I love it.
Love
Justin
that.
says 50-50. I love it. All right. Everybody else drop in the chat. How confident are you? I'm still letting people in. Bum them in, bum them in. But how confident are you that your current business plan is going to get you to where you want to go next year, 2026? Barbara says 75%. That's right. I like some of this confidence I'm seeing too. Barbara, not surprised. You attend. I know you're diligent. I've seen you've been really putting in that hustle. You've been working. Proud of you. Think how far you've come in such a short period of time too. You just, I love it. Hello, Celia. Good to see you. Sort of. You doing a walk on the treadmill? If I set mine up in time, I would have done the same too. But then I walk on the treadmill very fast. And so then like if I'm coaching or on a call and I do the fast one, there's been close calls. So if
Can
I'm the
already,
one leading, I don't do it anymore.
I can picture this.
Oh man. All right, 5 after. I respect your time, you respect my time, and we all have a good time. So let's get into it. This is for all the agents who maybe you feel stuck reacting to business instead of directing it. Okay. Maybe you're tired of starting strong and then just kind of fizzling out, right? I think that's one of the most common ones I see. This is the year. This is human nature, by the way. I
Mhm.
got this. This is the year. And then a month, 2 months. Sometimes you go a little bit longer, 4 or 5 months, and then you go, wait, what happened? Where did I go wrong? Right? And of course, you want a plan that's simple, repeatable, and actually sustainable. Okay. It'll take some work to map it out. Any good map does, but it needs to be something that you can actually accomplish. And that's actually what we're going to get into today. But first, there's 4 commitments for being on this call. Okay. Number one is video on. We are a community. We are volunteering our time, and all we're just asking for is your attention, right? Turn the video on so we can get the energy from you. That means so much to see you guys. It just brightens us. It just makes us feel fulfilled. We're like, yes, they're real people. They're not all just note takers. And number two is distractions off. This is for you. You did not show up today to get nothing. You showed up today because you thought, man, I think there's something here I can get of value. You're not going to get it if you're distracted. If you have client calls and stuff like that, either stop, go take care of them. I'll respect that. I get it if there's a real fire. But if you can hold off for the next 50 minutes or so, you're going to get a lot out of this. Number three is participate. There's going to be questions. Maybe you'll have some questions you want to ask. Drop them in the chat. Be involved because that will heighten how much you get and how much you take home. Okay. And then the last but most important is go make someone's day. Go bless someone. Go serve someone. Just go make someone's day. Like we are here volunteering our time to serve and bless you. So, with that being said, I actually had a second question I wanted to ask you guys today. If you were forced to stop working for 30 days, would your business keep running or stop completely?
The bus test.
Mm-hmm. One of the most important tests because one of our fatal flaws as entrepreneurs in particular is we genuinely believe we can do it all. And we think we will be able to do it all forever. Barbara says stop. She believes her business would stop. Thank you for that vulnerability, by the way. That's pretty much the answer for almost everyone.
Hmm.
And a lot of that derives from the fact we don't have a plan that covers these core things. And then from there, we'll get into this next year. Laura has some great stuff. I got to bring her back for some of the other stuff she teaches. But we'll get into growing your business to a place to where it can run without you. That's some future stuff we got to do together, Laura, by the way.
Oh, yes, for sure.
I was trying to think of a great title for you today. I wanted to be like the top producer maker or something like that. But everything I wrote, it didn't like come out the right way. Like it didn't hit
Okay.
the way I wanted it to. But yeah, we got to do it. Okay, so let me give you a quick scenario, guys, that kind of I resonated with that I want to share with you. So you start the year with good intentions, right? I think that's most of us. We have pretty good intentions when we start our year. New goals, new plans, new energy. But then the year hits, you're at full speed, but then clients, family, I mean, fires to put out, surprises, closings, cancellations. And then by May, your big ideas are just scattered across all your notes and your thoughts. And oh my gosh, like, wait, I thought I had a plan, but now your plan is just whatever you remember in the moment. Anybody relate to that? Yeah, I've got a plan. It's get through today.
Yeah, survival.
Yeah. And let me tell you, you do need to survive, but it doesn't have to be that way, right? And most of the time, if you talk to an agent, whether they are absolutely crushing it or they're brand new and falling behind or whatever it is, if you ask them, what's your strategy right now? What's your plan? Most of the time, they're going to go, I'm just trying to keep up. That's not a good plan. If you went to a CEO of a company and you were like, hey, what's your plan for your company's future? And they went, I'm just trying to keep up.
Well, more importantly, we are the CEOs of our company,
Boy,
right?
right. We've
And
got to.
we are the CEOs. We have to have a plan.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. That's our job. That's our job. But this is not taught a lot. A lot of business plans are go to ChatGPT now and just ask it to write your 2026 business plan for you. The thing is that ChatGPT is good at a lot of things, but it is not good at extracting the best qualities out of you and turning that into something extremely personal and highly relevant. Okay? It's just
Preach.
summarizing what it's read from everybody else. So now we're going to get into that moment. I want everybody to say it with me. Ready? Things
Things
need
need
to change.
to change.
And here's the good news, guys. They will. And it's going to start with one business plan. Now, I'm going to give you some quick facts. A structured plan increases conversations by 20 to 30%. Okay, right away. Agents who follow the system that Laura is going to share with you today, and this is going to be step one. You're going to have a lot more that she's going to bring you. I can't believe she's giving away for free. I really can't. I genuinely thought we were going to do a paywall at the end because that would have made sense for what she's giving away. But then I remembered it's Laura, and she gives so much away for free. Okay. But agents who follow the system generate 10 to 15 solid opportunities each month. And guess what? It's not from Zillow. It's not from Zillow. I can't stress that enough. Okay. And then what this does is 3 to 4 more signed clients every 30 to 60 days. What would your business look like if you had that steady flow? I'd imagine it'd be looking pretty good. Okay. Remember, it's not about making the perfect plan. It's about making a plan that lives and breathes with you, one you'll actually use every week, not just in January. With that being said, let's get into step one, the why. Laura's going to do a lot of the talking from here. If you guys have comments, questions, please drop them in the chat. We're going to try and breeze through this. So if we have time, we can answer them. But if not, maybe Laura can get into our Facebook group and maybe she'll answer some of those questions there. Okay. So with that being said, Laura, the why, feel free to take it away.
Thank you. So first of all, let me introduce myself to those of you who don't know me and have never met me or maybe never attended one of my classes. I'm Laura Dahl. I've been in real estate since Moby Dick was a minnow or dinosaurs roamed the earth, 26 years now. And I've sold in 4 states and have owned 2 brokerages. I now run a team in Tennessee and one in North Carolina, and I coach agents all over the country like yourselves. One thing I want to mention about this whole business plan itself, lots of places do teach, lots of brokerages teach business planning, but the way that they teach business planning is more about how many deals do you want to sell, how many contacts do you need to have, what are your strategies going to be, and if you want to make a certain amount of money, this is how many people you need to talk to a day. And that's reverse engineering of a lot of business plans, and that's what a lot of people learn. I structure my business plan a little different because in my coaching, I realized that everything that comes up in our personal life shows up in our business. Everything. And most of us are so segmented that we keep our business stuff over here and our personal stuff over here. And then we wonder why our business stuff starts tanking or starts going over the edge or doesn't follow along with what's happening in our life. And so I typically do business planning that is a holistic kind of approach to your whole life, right? Not just your business itself, because the things we know are off in our personal life show up in our business, right? So, first of all, I want to quickly just tell you every single one of you should already have a reason you got into real estate, why you're doing this, right? Why, how you even got involved. Most people get into real estate because they either had a really bad experience with a realtor and they thought, I can do better than that, or they got into it for time freedom, location freedom, flexibility, or because where else could you earn an unlimited amount of income, right? So I love that Barbara said that was me. I hear that story all the time. I hear nightmares, and that's typically why people get into this business. But you've got to have your own reason for why you're doing this because this industry will chew you up and spit you out and exhaust you. And you have to keep coming back to why you got into this to begin with, right? You have to keep reminding yourself why you do what you do. Okay, so number one, I need you to figure out and clearly define why you're in this, right? The other part is how. I want you to think about your lane, okay? And if you could for a minute visualize an interstate, a 5 lane highway, 6 lane highway in a big major city. And all the cars are flowing in one direction in 6 lanes forward, right? There are so many ways in this industry to make money. And most people get a license and they just go straight into residential real estate because that's the fastest pocket to fall into where most agents go, right? But I'm here to tell you that your credential of a real estate license is a license to print money if you find your lane. If you find which lane you're supposed to be driving in. And that's why I tell you, if you can visualize six cars going forward, your avenue of real estate is your lane, how you're going to make money in this business. And so I want you guys to understand there are lots of ways. Okay. There are lots of avenues to make money. There's investors, there's new construction, there's move up buyers, there's lists and lists and lists. And I have in my full business planning workbook, which, Robert, are we going to give them a link to it later or email
I
it to
was
them
just going to say,
later?
I forgot to tell you guys what we're doing today is a quick overview, and then Laura's giving away her workbook to you guys. We're going to put it in the newsletter so that everybody will have it. We'll also drop a link. Um, We'll
Thank you.
get that. We'll get
Okay.
it all sent to everybody. So we'll drop a link to subscribe to that newsletter. So that way everybody always has it for reference. Because once the Zoom ends, it's over, and then
Yeah.
you won't be able to reference that link again. But this today is an overview. So if you're thinking, wow, they're going so fast, they're not actually telling me everything to do. The normal course, how long is it, Laura, normally?
It's literally, I taught it, the first time I taught it was 3.5 hours. The second time I got it down to like 2.5, but really the way I wrote it is a 4 to 5 hour workshop. And this is not the kind of thing that you guys are going to sit for 4.5 or 5 hours with me today. I have to give you the Cliff Notes version just so that you understand where we're headed and some things to think about. And then you're going to do the work on your own. You're going to do all the work that entails to write this big, beautiful business plan that's going to serve you on your own. But I'm here to help guide you and I'm here to answer questions about certain areas. I just want to make sure that they were going to get a copy of that.
Yes,
In
they
that
will.
workbook, there is a list of all the ways you can make money in real estate, right? So I have coaching clients that run sober living homes. They sell to investors. And instead of just buying a short-term, mid-term rental or a hold and flip or something, they actually buy them and turn them into residential homes for sober living houses. They turn them into residential homes for adults on the spectrum. They turn them into residential homes for aging seniors. There's a whole avenue there that I just gave you one example that has 10 different buyers for it, right? And so my point to you is that you don't have to be like everybody else in the residential real estate lane if that lane's not for you, right? You can pick and choose which lane that you want to have. Um, and you can, thanks, Robert. You can choose who that customer base is going to be. So I want you to anchor the why you do what you're doing, right? With the who you're going to serve. You have to figure that out. You guys have to have clarity on that from the very get-go. It doesn't matter if you say you're going to sell 42 houses or 200 houses. If you don't know who you're serving and how you do it, or why someone should hire you, your business plan does not matter because you're missing key fundamental elements that you need to have some clarity on. Okay. Um, I want you to define what you want this year to look like and really be honest with yourself about what worked for you last year. Raise your hand if last year was the worst year or this year, 2025, was one of the hardest years that you've had in this business. I'm going to raise mine loud and proud, right? And I'm not really proud of it, but it is, I survived it. So I am proud of that. In my 26-year career, it was the hardest year of my career. And I owned a brokerage in 2006 to 2008. So let me tell you, I had war wounds to prove it. But this year was tough. It was really hard on me. And it was hard on a lot of people. And what I want you to say is going into 2026, don't beat yourself up over what happened in 2025. A lot of business plans also do that. Like, let's look at what worked and what didn't and what we're going to change. And yes, you need to consider that, but you need to consider the changing market in real time that we just experienced, right? And anytime a market is changing in real time like that, you're going to have inconsistencies. You're going to have things that have worked in the past that did not work for you any longer. The other struggle is that in the world that we live in now, most agents have just gotten into this business in the last 3 to 5 years, where it fell out of the sky like manna, right? Like the business just fell into your lap. And now agents are having to produce business on their own, and they're not trained and equipped to do that yet because they haven't had to, right? So we're having to develop a skill set that we never had before. And we're having to approach our business planning in a different way and being more intentional and more specific instead of trying to be the agent for everyone everywhere. That message is heard by no one. Okay. Next slide, please. I want you to have a vision of what you want this business to look like. I want you to create a picture in your mind of your ideal year, a white picket fence reality of what you want this business to look like. I call it a white picket fence because that's my dream, right? Like that's the white picket fence thought of what I want my business to look like is if every client I talked to ended up hiring me, potential opportunity ended up hiring me. I closed every listing that I took. Every buyer that I worked with bought a house, right? Those are things in an ideal world, we would love those things to happen with consistency, like rinse and repeat. But that's not the world and the industry we live in for a lot of people. And most of that is because we don't have the habits or structure that it requires to produce that kind of consistency, first of all, right? But I need you to picture in your head what you want this year to look like that is perfect for you. And that's what I want the caveat is for you. Your race and your lane is unlike anybody else's. Barbara, your clients are not the same clients that Robert serves, right? Your clients are not the same that Justin serves or anybody else on this call. We each have our own unique special sauce that we bring to the table. We each have our own approach, our own style, our own skill set. And we've got to, when we're planning our business, we're going to leverage that. We're going to utilize what is my special sauce? What do I do better than anyone else in my market? What can I excel at that makes me stand out from 26,000 other realtors, right? The difference. You have to find what your difference is and be able to articulate that. I want you guys to have the reason I'm asking you to visualize the perfect business for you for this year is because if you can't see it, you can't make it happen. You have to see. Do you read something? Are you turning on the TV? Are there kids screaming? Is it chaos? Like, what does your environment look like in the mornings when you start your day? What are you consuming? What is consuming you and your attention, right? I want you to go through that visualization of envisioning what a perfect day looks like, where you are in control of the day, not the day is in control of you. You are taking control of things that are within your control, and much of our industry is not in our control, so we have to take control of what we can, right? And I need you to visualize how your clients respond to you. How do they come to you? Do they flow easily? Is it a struggle to convince that you're the right one, right? I want you to visualize the perfect business for you that allows you to have a healthy work-life balance so you can avoid burnout and it has a business that is built on structure and consistency that's going to produce consistent adult
Laura, let me
results.
jump in real quick just on
Sure.
this because the point you just made, I think, is totally uh, overlooked so often. So, guys, first of all, for most agents, they're always just they take whatever is given, right? Whatever client at whatever time in whatever scenario. It's almost always, even the ones who go, "Well, I turned my phone off." No, you don't. Most of the time. Now, here's the thing. If you talk to the best of the best, which Laura is one of them, there is strict guidelines that they have set in their life. And even if it's a good opportunity, it doesn't mean it's your opportunity. There was, and I was so scrambled and so lost. There was, and I was so scrambled and so lost. And then all of a sudden, everything started to slowly fall apart. So I can't emphasize that enough. Having this clarity on what aligns with your life, and you will filter everything you do through it. And it will actually alleviate so much anxiety in your life because then you'll have this thing, this guidebook that says, does it fit this? Yes or no? If it does, it's a yes. If it doesn't, it's a no.
I love that.
Wouldn't
And
that be nice, guys?
I like to go back to that multi-lane highway too, right? So if you would think of each one of those lanes as a specialization, right, or an interest in real estate, a type of real estate, you guys cannot drive your car in all the lanes at the same time, right? You can't get where you're going if you're driving in all of the lanes, right? Which is why you need to pick one lane and be an expert at it. Pick one lane and get your messaging crystal clear to attract people to you instead of chasing people. Stop taking everything that falls in your lap that's not in alignment with who you serve, right? It is not in alignment with the type of real estate that you do and that you excel at, right? A lot of us feel, and when your pipeline is so full, that's easier to do, right? When your pipeline is empty, you will grab at whatever comes your way because you're hungry. You got to eat, right? You got bills to pay. But I promise you, you don't have to worry about where your next check is coming from if you would stop trying to drive in all the lanes. Pick a lane, okay? Go ahead on to the next one. Off and held on by duct tape, right? You off and held on by duct tape, right? You got zero access to people with money. You don't belong to a country club. You don't golf. You don't interact with people who have money, right? I would say as a coach, I don't know that that's who you serve best because I don't think you have access to those people. I don't think you have the ability to reach those people. It can be done, but it can be done in a very difficult, expensive way, which you may not have the ability to do that. So choose who respects you, who values your time, who values our profession first and foremost, right? That they know why they need you. It's a no-brainer. They know that they're better off with you than without you, right? I want you to make a list of exactly the fears and pain points and thoughts and values and how they communicate and where they hang out. Where do they eat dinner? What kind of cars do they drive? Do they go to church? What kind of church? Do they have kids? Do they have pets? What do they do on Saturdays? What are they Googling at 3 in the morning? What are they afraid of? What are they excited about? What are they worried about? When you get crystal clear on who and how they tick, it is a whole lot easier to fish from a stocked pond than the great big wide ocean that has every type of fish that is not for you, right? When you know who to work with, when somebody comes along that is outside of those, that's when you get to evaluate, is this a hell yes or is this a no? Right? Put in place. We sometimes have questionable ethics. When desperation shows up, is not when you're running your best race, is not when you are running your best business.
Laura, with all the coaching you've done, tell me if this is correct from your opinion too, because we both then have done a lot of coaching. I think you've
Sure.
done significantly more than me. When I've done a lot of my coaching, the ones who fail the hardest and absolutely get crushed out of the business, and I'm not talking about for laziness,
Yeah. No.
absolute people who work, people who have the drive. The number one thing that I have seen is that they have absolutely no boundaries and they end up spending all of their amazing drive, amazing energy. Maybe they're super knowledgeable, but it lacks such focus that they spend 3 hours driving to a listing appointment with
Yeah.
someone who said they're not that interested, but you could come out and see the property if you wanted
Correct.
to. And then they
Right.
do 3 hours back. I have seen this as
I-
probably the number one thing for non-lazy people, right? People who are
no.
like, yeah,
It's never actually not the ones that are lazy that fail the hardest, right? It is the ones who are exhausted from spinning their wheels in 20 directions. It is the ones who really don't have a crystal clear idea of who their target client is because they'll work with anybody, right? It's
Mhm.
the ones who have tried to use strategies that everyone else recommended to them, but that's not them. That's not their special sauce. It doesn't meet their personality. Robert, you don't fit in a box, right? You're not the typical realtor that most people would think of. And I say that with all the love in my heart for you. You know that.
Okay,
But
I know.
you don't fit the normal realtor like persona, like what you would expect of a realtor. And that's 50 and say, two are coming from this, four are coming from this strategy and say, two are coming from this, four are coming from this strategy, six are coming from this, two are coming from this. Most of those people that have those big lofty goals, I'm going to sell 250 houses, they can't tell me where those 250 are coming from. Most of them just say, well, I'm going to do some open houses, I'm going to do this. And those are ideas, but they're not strategies. There's a difference between the two. Okay. You'll get into that when you get the workbook a little
I
bit.
love what you said about what you need, what they need from you, and why you're the right match. And I
Yeah.
just, I love I just love listening to you talk, but emphasizing these points, right? So just to give you guys a clear example of what she's talking about being the right match, right? Someone can be a great qualifying person even, but not the right match for you. And you have to have the self-awareness and belief in the system that Laura is helping you to develop through this workbook to say no to good things. You should easily say no to bad things. That should be absolutely. But most of the time, it's good things. An example is okay, my wife has medical problems. She's had terminal medical problems for about three years now. I am home a lot. I take care of the kids a lot. Do you know what that means? I don't travel more than 30 minutes. I have to be close.
Yeah.
Now that sucks, guys. In real estate, we're told you go anywhere at any time for anyone, basically, right? Every time someone comes in, okay, no problem. Here's the thing. If it's outside of this, I'm gonna have to refer you. I just want to make sure that's clear up front. I'm gonna take good care of you. Even though I always need money, I'm always
25, 26 year career. I woke up one day and my kids were 24 and 21, right? I worked 100 and my kids were 24 and 21, right? I worked 100 hours a week and I came home and gave my family the crumbs of the cookie, what was left over. And these strangers who I wasn't even really in alignment with, or they weren't in my lane, got the full pieces of the cookie. They got the bulk of my energy. They got the bulk of my attention, right? Because I had to earn a living. I was a single mom in the most expensive county in the state. I had to feed myself and these boys. But I woke up and they were grown men, right? I woke up and I missed out on a lot of life with them. And so I reverse engineer it and I teach people to do it backwards. Even when you're doing your time blocking, your personal and family obligations go on the calendar first. Always. Your business needs to coincide with the life that you're trying to live with your family. I don't want you to have regrets that, yeah, you hustled your butt off for X number of hours a week and for years and you drove and drove and drove. But did your family get the crumbs and the strangers got the bigger pieces of the cookie? That's not how your business should be developed or designed. Okay. Moving on up. All right. And how many of us have wanted to quit our job? Like, if you've been in real estate more than a year, like I have to tell myself at least 300 times a year, no, you're still going to do this. You're still doing it. Don't quit. But when we get frustrated and we're spinning our wheels and not feeling like we're getting the results that equate to the feeling like we're getting the results that equate to the time that we've invested and the energy we've invested, we start questioning, is this for us? Right? It is for you if you can find your lane. Taking off the market and putting on the rental market, or they pulled off the market altogether. So my ratios went down on some of those. But those are metrics that I track for myself. Those are metrics that you should know for your own business, right? What do your past numbers indicate about what you're capable of, right? There's also some gaps in sometimes your past numbers. You can look at the calendar and you can see your up and down line and you can see dips where you take your foot off the gas, or maybe you didn't do as much prospecting because you were so busy running your business that then that produced a gap in the next quarter or the next month, right? You need to look at these numbers in order to plan to have more consistency, right? But what I don't want you to do is don't beat yourself up over the numbers. There are lessons in the numbers. Maybe you chose to take a step back because you needed to regain some of your personal time. Maybe you were burning out. Maybe your focus wasn't making $1 million. Your focus was providing for your family, but being present. And that is the part where I keep going back to this lane visualization for you because it's so good. Robert's in this lane, going 200 miles an hour, right? I'm in the lane next to him and I'm watching Robert and I'm looking at him and I'm trying to catch up. And I know I can because I know myself. But at what cost of my own business am I trying to run with Robert and keep up with Robert or anybody? And I'm just here to tell you that the comparison game is how you're going to lose momentum. Nobody cares that you're a realtor. That's not exciting. It's not fun, right? I know that some of you are very proud. It's not fun, right? I know that some of you are very proud. I get it. I'm proud too, right? My son is a third generation realtor. I'm very proud of that. But at the end of the day, at a party, that is not going to capture anyone's attention because everyone knows 26 realtors. So I want you to get better at saying what you do and how you do it and who you serve. So for me, my elevator pitch or my line about how I answer that question, what do you do? I help people build long-term wealth through the purchase and sale of real estate. It sounds very different than I'm a realtor. Come up with your own. Figure out what your lane is. Stop comparing yourself to Robert's lane because Robert has his own special skills. He has his own special clients. He has his own way that has nothing to do with me. And I don't know. Maybe Robert, I know you do love your family, so this isn't the right example, but maybe he's running 200 miles an hour because he's running from something. Maybe he's running from home. He doesn't like being home, right? That's not my business. My business is my lane where I excel. And there's going to be people that are going to run circles around you. There's going to be people that are still back at the start line. There's going to be people that are right there neck and neck with you. But still, it is different. It's a different race. It's a different lane. You are in your own lane. So when you set these goals for yourself, I want you to remember, what are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to maximize profitability? Are you trying to maximize profitability? Are you trying to have a little better work-life balance? Are you trying to earn enough to where you have big dreams that you can make some things happen? You've got to determine heads. A what? You heads. A what? You need to know what it costs. Are you making any money? I have agents that are cashing checks for 60 grand, sure. But guess what? Their expenses were 120 grand. So are they making any money? No. The other thing is that what I know about realtors is that they will spend money on anything they think will help them make money. Do you know what helps you make money? Elbow grease and effort. That doesn't cost you anything. Talking to people, leveraging the tools that you already have available to you, right? You don't have to go out and spend $250,000 to make $250,000. If you do, you need to talk to an accountant, right? You need to talk to a strategist. But I want you to calculate the cost of running your business. I want you to plan for every dollar that comes in, it should be divided 4 or 5 ways. And one of those ways is paying Uncle Sam. This is the other part that I'm going to get a little deep on y'all, but I'm running out of time and I got to get this in. It's a powerful punch in the face, I promise. And I mean it with all the love in my heart when I punch you in the face. I just want you to know that. Um, Most of the agents that I work with, even that I just talked to around the country, most of them owe the IRS a minimum of $25,000. Most of them. Some of them, I would say half, owe more than $100,000 to the IRS. So I want you to understand, I want you to think about that debt in a backpack that you're carrying it around. It's heavy. It is added pressure for you to run your business in, right? We want to be prepared. We want to be proactive in, right? We want to be prepared. We want to be proactive. I am telling you now, please don't leave a mess for other people to have to clean up. And that means being a good steward with your money and making sure that every dollar you have is earmarked and planned so that you can profit from this business that you're dedicating so much time and energy into. Okay? All right. The other thing that I have found is that in our business, there is no regimen or routine unless you create one. Nobody's telling you what time to sit at your desk and start working, right? Unless you're on a team or something, and your team leader's like, you've got to make so many calls and you've got to be in the office so many times, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's doing that for you. You are the CEO, you're the boss. You get to decide. And one of the things that I want to understand is you must insert routine and structure where there is none. And you've got to determine which routine and structure for you is going to support the goals that you have. I coach my agents to come up with a daily non-negotiable list because life is going to life. Life is going to get in the way. Your kid's going to get sick. Your dog's going to throw up. You're going to need to go to the vet. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to be sick. Maybe you got in a car accident. We had an agent in our company that had a stroke. So we're going to go real serious, right? Because we all think we're invincible. We do not pass the bus test. We do not even pass, like if I died tomorrow, what kind of mess would someone else have to clean up? And I'm just trying to be very real with you. You can avoid all of that. You can avoid all of that by being, this is something I'm going to commit to every day, regardless of how life shows up for me that day. So that means, and that doesn't mean you pick 22 things that are non-negotiables. You can if you choose to, but that's not how this is formatted. It is really 5 to 7 things, maybe 3 to 5, depending on your investment of time, that you are going to commit to doing every day, regardless of what happens in your day. We know we're in a very reactive business. We're popcorn, right? Like we will pop up and go wherever we need to go if somebody calls us. If there's a crisis, we're going to drop everything and solve that crisis. And one of the things that I need to know, Barbara, that is so cute. I can't even stand it. I love that. One of the things that I want to make sure that you are doing is planning things that you can lay your head on the pillow and say, you know what? I moved the needle in my business today, regardless that I had to take the dog to the vet, or that my kids were homesick, or that I really didn't feel well today. I at least did something in my business today that moved the needle. That's where your non-negotiables are going to show up. You get to decide what things you're going to commit to on a daily basis. And then your job is to do them every day. Not say, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that next week. Tomorrow is not promised, my friends. And what you do today determines your paycheck tomorrow. We all know that, right? If you take your foot off the gas for a week, for 3 days, how does that show up in your business? You don't see it immediately, but in 30 days you will, because what I did today determines how I'm getting paid tomorrow. You have moved the needle and have committed to doing something. You have moved the needle and have committed to doing something every day. Most of us are busy being fabulous, not busy making money. And we want to change that, right? I don't want you to be fabulous. I want you to be fabulously rich if you want to be. Go ahead.
All right, so actually, that's the end of the quick overview. Obviously, there's a
Cool.
lot more in the workbook. I have an idea I'm going to throw at you after the call, um, because I just love what you teach so much, and I feel like we need to do more.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, so we're going to drop the newsletter link in the chat for you. Make sure you all are subscribed to that. It's the easiest way for us to send out this link, and then you'll always have access to it. It goes out on Friday, so we'll get you the link where you can get the workbook. Just take your time, just one piece at a time. Remember how she was just teaching about structure? The goal here is this is a great test. Put a structure of completing this workbook. Put it on your calendar, make it consistent. Okay, that's the most important thing. And then just share some of the things that you're learning. Share some of the things you're committing to in the Agent Alliance Facebook group so we can just support you, so we can just encourage you. If you have questions, that's a great place as well to go and ask those questions. Laura's in there. She's super helpful, really friendly.
Sometimes.
Amazing, amazing. So Misa, go ahead and drop the newsletter link in the chat. Oh, you're on it. You're amazing. That's the Facebook group, and then we'll do the newsletter after that. Remember, there's no newsletters free, Facebook groups free.
A little deeper into each of these a little deeper into each of these highlighted sections that we talked about to help you really come up with a plan that's going to work, as well as strategies. I also have some bonuses that I will share with you guys that I'll send to Robert. One is, if agent attraction is part of your plan for 2026, I do have an agent attraction toolkit that I'm going to share with you guys. And then there's also a marketing plan that is unlike any marketing plan that you've ever seen. And it is actually where we're going to pick a lane. We're going to identify the tools that we have access to, and we're going to identify the channel that we find those people in that lane, right? What ways do we interact with them? And we actually list out the strategies that we're going to use to attract that person. So we're not listing 18 different types of clients. We're choosing one, and we are mapping out the entire strategy to sell to that client type. And I will share that format with you guys. Okay.
And again, guys, so the link, subscribe, it's the MailChimp link that says subscribe to our newsletter and get the replay on Friday. It will have the workbook in it. It sounds like Laura's going to be throwing some bonuses in there. Um, and so just that's the easiest place to just make sure you get it. I want you to be able to keep it. So we'll send it there. We always send it on Friday for you guys. Really get plugged in. Like I said, Laura, you can tag her inside the Agent Alliance Facebook group, share with her. And then my personal perspective on this, if I may, about this workbook. Um, if you guys notice, I haven't brought anybody else in to teach business planning, have I, this year? There's a reason actually dwelling on that. But I promise you, I have nothing to gain from this, right? I have nothing to gain from this from telling you this other than just satisfaction of just encouraging you to do something that I know works. My life is great. And a lot of that came from having a crystal clear belief system that the whole family is bought into. My wife knows the vision. My children know the vision of why I do what I do, when I do what I do, and what fits into our life. And I just want that for you guys. It's okay if you don't make $1 million next year if you're fulfilled.
Hmm.
That will make you feel rich, right? And I just can't emphasize that enough. This is a workbook that a lot of times you've heard me say it. A lot of training out there is garbage. Don't waste your time on it. A lot of
This
business
workbook,
plans are garbage and just
yeah.
don't waste your time on it. I want to protect your time. I even tell you, if what I teach you isn't relevant, don't show up. Protect your time. This is worth your time. It's worth your time. You will be rewarded, not just in your business. Your spouse will be rewarded from this. Your kids will be rewarded from this. And most of all, you as a person will be rewarded from this. This is self care. This is self development beyond just a business plan. This is so much more. So I know that was a lot, but I just can't encourage you enough. We're going to drop the links one more time, the MailChimp link one more time for you guys. If you have any last minute questions for Laura, we got 2, 3 minutes. Please feel free. But just make sure you get that newsletter. And then, Laura, I'm going to talk to you about maybe seeing if we can do some stuff in.
Here to help, and I would love to teach, but I wanted you guys to have the link to that so you can book them on your calendars, and you can show up for those anytime you would like to. Okay, so the other thing about this workbook, it is a living, breathing document that you guys are going to keep all year long. It is not something you put on the shelf. It's something you're going to refine. You're going to reflect, right? You're going to make changes throughout as you're pivoting in some ways, but you're not pivoting to the 4 other lanes you're driving next to. You're going to pick a lane and you're going to stay in your lane, right? And run your race. Thank you for having
I
me. I
love it.
appreciate
I
it.
love it. Thank you so much for your time, Laura. I
You're very
mean, you're
welcome.
one of my favorite people in real estate. I
Uh,
don't say that lightly.
Thank you.
We've known
It's
each
hard to
other a
find
while
some
now.
favorites in this industry sometimes, but there's lots of
It
us
is.
out there,
Well,
you
I mean,
know?
there's a lot of ulterior motives.
Yep,
I am totally fine if someone has certain objectives. Just be transparent about it,
100%.
right? And so I just love that you come in here. You're really authentic. You'll talk about uncomfortable subjects. I always do. I mean, I don't know. I don't know any coach who's ever talked more about people's marriages than I have.
Well,
I talk
you
about them pretty
value
much
marriage
every
and
call.
you have a strong marriage, so
Yeah,
it
and I
makes
know the
sense.
power of a strong marriage and I know the dangers of a weak one.
Yeah.
And it's like so I just love that you talk about these things. It's amazing. Okay, getting those links, guys. Get into the Facebook group. And then Laura, I'll talk to you some more. We'll put the agent mastermind link in there for you guys too in the Friday and